Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to my channel of It's Marcus. Well, as you can see, this time I want to tell you a little story of Moses. As you can see, I'm already on Exodus chapter 11. So I'm going to tell you the little story about Moses because you remember the story of Moses parts the Red Seas? With, well, with that being said, let's listen, okay? Okay, ready? Ready to hear it? All right. I see Exodus, Exodus chapter 11, the plagues on the firstborn. Now the Lord has said to Moses, I will bring one more plague on Pharaoh and on Egypt. After that, he will let you go from here. And when he does, he will drive you out completely. Tell the people that men and women alike are to ask their neighbors for articles articles of silver and gold. The Lord made the Egyptians favorable disposed toward the people, and Moses himself was highly regarded in Egypt by Pharaoh's official and by the people. So Moses says, this is what the Lord says. About midnight, I will go throughout Egypt. Every firstborn son in Egypt will die, from the firstborn sons of Pharaoh who sit on the throne to the firstborn of the son of the female slaves who is at her handmill, and all firstborn of the cattle as well. There will be loud wailing throughout Egypt, worse than there has been ever, worse than has ever been or ever will be again. But among the Israelites, not a dog will bark at any person or animal. Then you will know that the Lord makes a distinction between Egypt and Israel. All these officials of yours will come to me, bowing down before me and saying, Go, and all the people who follow you. After that I will leave. Then Moses, hot with anger, let Pharaoh. The Lord said to Moses, Pharaoh, Lord said to Moses, he says, Pharaoh will refuse to listen to you. So that's my wonder made by multiplied in Egypt. Moses and Aaron performed all these wonders before Pharaoh. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he would not let the Israelites go out of his country. Now for chapter 12, the Passover. Okay, ready for chapter 12? First, let me get a drink of water right quick. The Lord says to Moses and Aaron in Egypt, this month is to be for you the first month of your year. Tell the whole community of Israel that on the 10th day of this month, each man is to take a lamb for his family, one for each household. For any household is too small for the whole lamb, they must share one of their nearest neighbor. Have taken into account the number of people there are. You are to determine the amount of lambs needed in accordance with what each person will eat. Verse 5. The animals chose you must be year-old males without defect, and you may take them from the sheep or the goats. They take care of them until the 14th day of the month, when all the members of the community of Israel must slaughter them at the twilight. Then they are to take some of the blood and put it on the side and tops of the door frames of the houses where they eat the lambs. They say that same night there are to eat the meat roast over the fire along with the bitter herbs and the bread made without yeast. Do not eat meat raw or boiled in water, but roasted over a fire with the head, leg, and internal organs. Do not leave any of it till morning. If some is left till morning, you must burn it. This is how you are able to eat it, with your cloak tucked into your belt, your sandals on your feet, and your staff in your hand. Eat it in haste. It is the Lord's Passover. On the same night, I will pass through Egypt and strike down every firstborn of both people and animals. And I will bring judgment on all the gods of Egypt. I am the Lord. The blood will be the sign for you on the house where you are. And when I see blood, I will pass over. No destructive plague will touch you when I strike Egypt. Oh, hey, Bud Files, how you doing? I'm just reading the story of Moses in his Bible. So you want me to keep on going? I'm just having some broccoli right now for my last meal today. Okay, verse 14. This is a day you are commemorate for the generation to come. You shall celebrate it as a festival to the Lord, a lasting ordinance. For 7 days you are to eat bread made without yeast. On the first day, remove the yeast from your house. For whoever eats anything with yeast in it from the first day through the seventh must be cut off from Israel. On the first day hold a sacred assembly, and another one of the 7 days. Do not work at all on these days, except to prepare food for everyone to eat. That's all you may do. Celebrate the festival of the unleavened bread, because it was the very day that brought your decision out of Egypt. Celebrate this day as the last audience for the generations to come. In the first month, you are to eat the bread made without yeast from the evening in the 14th day until the evening of the 21st day. For 7 days, no yeast is to be found in your house, and anyone, whether foreigners or native born, who eats anything with yeast in it must be cut off from the community of Israel. Eat nothing made with yeast. Wherever you live, you must eat unleavened bread. Then Moses summoned all the elders of Israel and said to them, Go at once, go at once and select the animal for your families and slaughter the Passover lambs. Take a bunch of hippos, the hysops. How you ever say that word again? Hysops. Dip it into the blood in the basins and put some of the blood on the top and both sides of the door frame. None of you shall go out the door of your house until morning, when the Lord goes through the land and strike down the Egyptians. He will see the blood on the top and the side of the door frame, and he will pass over the doorway, that he will not permit the destroyer to enter your house that strikes you down. Obey these instructions as the lasting ordinance for you and your descendants, yeah. When you enter the land that the Lord will give you as he promised, observe the ceremony. And when your children ask you, what does this ceremony means to you? Then tell them it's a Passover sacrifice to the Lord. Whoever passed over the house of Israelites in Egypt and spared our homes when he struck down the Egypts, then the people bowed down to and worship. The Israelites did what the Lord commanded Moses and Aaron. At midnight, the Lord struck down all the firstborn in Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh who sat on the throne to the firstborn of the prisoners who was in the dungeon, and the firstborn of all livestock as well. Pharaoh and all his officials are all the Egypts go up during the night, and there was a loud wailing in Egypt, for there was not the house without someone dead. During that night, the Pharaoh summoned Moses and Aaron and says, Up, leave my people, you and the Israelites. Go, worship the Lord as you have requested. Take your flocks and herd as you have said, and go, and also bless me. You see, I believe that part, like King Pharaoh is almost decided to give up and everything. The Egyptians urged the people to hurry and leave the country, for otherwise, they said, we will all die. So the people took their dough before the yeast and added and carried it on their shoulder. The kneading trough wrapped in clothing, the Israelites did as Moses instructed, and asked the Egyptians for article of silver and gold, and for clothing. The Lord has made the Egypts favorably disposed towards the people. They gave them what they asked for. So they plundered the Egyptians. The Israelites journeyed from Rameses and Succoth. There was about 600,000 men on foot, beside women and children. Many other people went up with them, and also drove of livestock, both flock and herd. With the dough Israelites had brought from Egypt, they had baked loaves and unleavened bread. They baked the dough was without yeast, because they had been driven out of the Egypt and did not have time to prepare for food themselves. Now, the length of time the Israelite people lived in Egypt was 430 years. At the end of the 430 years, to very days, all the Lord's division left Egypt because the Lord kept Vigil that night to bring them out of Egypt. On this night, all the Israelites are going to keep Vigil to honor the Lord for generations to come. Next one, Passover restrictions. And last, there'll be the last part right here. The cross. I still got a few more episodes to go. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, these are the regulations for the Passover. No foreigners is to eat of it, and slaves you have bought may eat it after you have circumcised him, but a temporary resident or hired worker may not eat it. It must be eaten inside one house. Take none of the meat outside the house. Do not break any of its bone. The whole community of Israel must celebrate it. As a foreigner residing among you who wants to celebrate the Lord's Passover must have all the males in his household circumcised, and then he may take the part of one born in land. No uncircumcised male may eat of it. The same law applying both to the native born and to the foreigners residing among you. Oh, hey, ATL Shawty Chowboo, how you doing? Well, I'm just reading the Bible story of Moses. So what is it? You want me to keep going? Oh, let me just give me some water first. So that's awesome. I need to learn more about the Bible. So, like I said, you wanted me to keep going? Okay, so before I keep going, let me tell you something, ATL Shawty Boo. There's a lot of people out there who be taking the Bible for granted. You see, the Bible is not a fairy tale, it's real. And the Bible can actually help you show the error of your ways. And plus, we must never take the name of God in vain. Because the Bible stands for basic instructions before leaving Earth. Yes. Okay, let me just read one more thing and I'll just get you like a consecration of the firstborn. All right. I want to start reading Revelation. Well, I'm on the book of Exodic right there. Exodus, sorry. All the Israelites did just what the Lord has commanded Moses and Aaron. And on the very day the Lord brought the Israelites out of Egypt by their division. Now, here's the next chapter, chapter 13. Ready to hear it? Hang on one second. Cool. Okay, let's get started. All right. The Lord said to Moses, concentrate to me every firstborn male. No, consecrate to every firstborn male. The first offspring of every womb among the Israelites belonged to me, whether humans or animals. Then Moses said to the people, commemorate this day, the day you came out of the Egypt, out of the land of slavery, because the Lord brought you out of it with a mighty hand. Eat nothing contains yeast. Today, in the month of Aviv, you are leaving. When the Lord brings you to the land of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, and Hittites, and the Jebusites. Hmm. That's kind of, I'll have to practice those words. All right. So just bear with me. The land he swore to your ancestors to give you, a land flowing with milk and honey, you are to observe this ceremony in this month. For 7 days eat bread made without yeast, and on the seventh day hold the festival to the Lord. Eat unleavened bread during those 7 days. Nothing with yeast in it is to be seen among you, nor shall any yeast be seen anywhere within your border. On that day, tell your children, I do this because I what the Lord did for me when I came out of Egypt. This observant will be for like a sign of your hand and a reminder on your forehead. This is the law. The Lord is to be on your lips. For the Lord brought you out of Egypt with his mighty hand. You must keep this ordinance at the appointed time, year after year. After the Lord brings you into the land of the Canaanites. Yeah, I'm gonna have to practice that word still. And to give it to you as he promised on oath to you and your ancestors. You are to give over to the Lord the firstborn offspring of every womb, all the firstborn males of your livestock belong to the Lord. Redeem with lambs every firstborn donkey. If you do not redeem it, break his neck. Redeem every firstborn among your sons. In that in days to come, when your children ask you, what does it mean? Say to them, with the mighty hand of the Lord brought us out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. When Pharaoh stubbornly refused to let us go, the Lord killed the firstborn of both people and animals in Egypt. This is why I sacrificed to the Lord the first male offspring of every womb and redeemed each of my firstborn son, and it would be like a sign of your hand and a symbol on your forehead that the Lord brought us out of Egypt with his mighty hand. Okay, guys, I'm on to the last part, crossing the sea. Okay, I can't wait to read this part of crossing the sea. Can't you? Well, can you? Can't you? You couldn't wait to hear it either, huh? But first, I gotta use the bathroom right quick. All right, y'all, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. Everyone is welcome in Marcus' life. He's reading about Moses. Okay, all right. All right, now for the story of chapter of crossing the sea. Oh boy, I can't wait to read this to you. Are you ready? Get comfortable now. All right, here we go. When Pharaoh let the people go, God did not lead them on the road through the Philistine country, though that was shorter. For God says, if they face war, they might change their minds and return to Egypt. So God led the people around by the desert road towards the Red Sea. The Israelites went up out of Egypt ready for battle. Moses took the bone of Joseph with him because Joseph had made the Israelites swear the oath. He had said, God will surely come to your aid, and then you must carry my bone up with you from this place. After leaving Succoth, they camped at the Etham on the edge of the desert. By that day, the Lord went ahead of them in the pillar of clouds. The clouds guided them their way, and by the night, in a pillar of fire to give them light, so that they could travel by day or night. Neither the pillar of clouds by the day nor the pillar of fire by the night left its place in front of the people. The Lord said to Moses, tell the Israelites to turn back and encamp near Pi-hahiroth, between Migdol and the sea. There's to encamp by the sea, directly opposite Baal Zephon. Pharaoh will think the Israelites are wandering around in the land in confusion. Him and by the desert, and I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and he will pursue them. But I will gain glory for myself through Pharaoh and his army, and the Egyptians. We will know that I am the Lord. So the Israelites did this. When the king of Egypt was told that the people had fled, Pharaoh and his official changed their mind about them and said, what have we done? We have let the Israelites go and have lost their service. So he had his chariot made ready and took his army with him. He took 600 of the best chariots along with all the other chariots of Egypt, with officers all over them. The Lord hardened their heart of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, so that he pursued the Israelites who were marching out boldly. The Egyptians, all Pharaoh's horses and the chariots, horsemen and troop, pursued the Israelites and overtook them as they camped by the sea near Pi-hahiroth, opposite Baal Zephon. As Pharaoh approached, the Israelites looked up, and there were the Egyptians marching after them. They were terrified and cried out to the Lord. They said to Moses, was it because there were no graves in Egypt that you brought us to the desert to die? What have you done to us by bringing us out of Egypt? Didn't we say to you in Egypt, leave us alone, let us serve the Egyptians? It would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die in the desert. Moses answered the people, "Do not be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. The Egyptians see today and you'll never see again. The Lord will fight for you. You only need to be still." Then the Lord said to Moses, "Why are you crying out to me? Tell the Israelites to move on. Raise your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea to divide the water so that the Israelites can go through the sea on dry ground. I will harden the heart of the Egyptians so that they will go and after them, and I will gain the glory through Pharaoh and all his armies through his chariot and his horsemen. The Egyptians will know that I am the Lord, and when I gain glory through Pharaoh and his chariots is his horsemen." Then the angels of God who had been traveling in front of Israel's army withdrew and went behind them. The pillar of clouds also moved from in front and stood behind them, come between the armies and Egypt and Israel. Throughout the night, the cloud brought darkness on one side and a light on the other side. So neither went near and others along all night long. Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and all that night the Lord drove the sea back with the strong east wind and turned it into dry land. The waters were divided, and the Israelites went through the sea on dry ground with the wall of the water on their right and on their left. The Israelites pursued them. No, sorry, excuse me. The Egyptians pursued them, and then Pharaoh's horses and the chariot and the horsemen followed them into the sea. During the last watch of the night, the Lord looked down from the pillar of fire and clouds at the Egyptians' army and threw it into confusion. He jammed the wheel of their chariot so that they have difficulty driving. And the Egyptians said, "Let's get away from the Israelites. The Lord is fighting for them against Egypt." Then the Lord said to Moses, Stretch out your hand over the sea so that the water may flow back over the Egyptians and their chariots of the horsemen." And do you know what happened? Oh, hey, 1SP, I didn't see you there. How you doing? Well, 1SP, I'm more like a sheep type. You should know that the goat represents the devil. But besides that, do you guys know what happened? What happened? Well, Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and at the daybreak, the sea went back into its place. The Egyptians were fleeing towards it, and the Lord swept them into the sea. The water flowed back and covered the chariot and the horsemen, and the entire army of Pharaoh that has followed the Israelites into the sea. Not one of them survived. But the Israelites went through the sea on dry ground with a wall of water on their right and their left. That day the Lord saved Israel from their hands of Egyptians, and Israel saw the Egyptians lying dead on shore. And when the Israelites saw the great power of the Lord displayed against the Egyptians, the people feared the Lord and put their trust on him and Moses, his servant. And that just shows right there. And that's the end of that part right there. Yep, and that's the end of Moses right there. And that's the end of the Moses and the Red Sea. So I gotta say, so you see, at that part, the Israelites were free from the slavery of Egyptians, and they started to live peacefully now. And they lived happily ever after. The end. I love that story of Moses and the Red Sea. It's one of my favorite Bible stories. Are you reading from the Are you reading from the beginning of the Bible all the way down? Well, before I started this video, I did start from chapter 1. Jelly Bean, how you doing? New listener, I'm glad you're here. As you see, I just got finished reading the story of Moses, but you can listen to the story on the replay if you want. So guys, how did you like that Bible story of Moses and the Red Sea? Did you guys enjoy it? So, ATL Shawty Chowbu, what was your favorite part of that Bible story of Moses and the Red Sea? How often will you be reading? How often will you be reading? Well, it depends if I feel like it. Because usually I got Bible study. Yeah, I got Bible study coming up tomorrow, so I hope they. Well, whenever I get the chance, man. Whenever I get the chance. Because I know I would love to read you guys some more Bible stories. Would you? Oh, hey, I almost forgot to tell you guys. Oh, guys, I forgot to tell you. I also got a second YouTube channel here, and it's called Marcus Crane. And it's all about like and it's just something, it's something like, it's all about like the Bible verses and more. If you want to go ahead and check it out, you'll see it's cool. Everything that's going on in this, everything that's going on in the world, when you said he stopped the water, mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, by the way, you guys might have heard you guys, you might have heard about the wildfire that's happening over there in California, huh? Ooh, I'm so sorry about that. Yes, my friend of mine of 2 years lost everything. She has three kids and the youngest especially. I'm sorry, Jelly Bean. Oh, you're from California, Jelly Bean? Gee, I'm still praying. I'm still praying for you guys over there in California. ATL Shorty Boo, say like a yes, my friend. Oh, 10. So it's 10:16 p.m. there. Oh, it's 12:16 over here where I'm at in Louisiana. She's been trying to get medical supplies for him. Her videos are heartbreaking. Mhm. Shalom, late night game. Oh, hey, Reload. How you doing? I'm from Florida. I'm in Florida, but I love the bayou. I guess huh? I guess our timing is different. Oh, guys, if you're new here, you already know what to do to hit the subscribe button, don't you? Oh, and hey, the bayou is gorgeous, even at nights. But hey, Jelly Bean, Reload, I would say this like if y'all new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any of my videos. Can you show the new page again? Sure. Here's some. Well, here's my YouTube page called Marcus Crane. Well, guys, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking about to wrap this up right here. But hey, thank you so much for being here, guys. And hey, I can't wait to read you the next Bible story whenever I get a chance, okay? So, I'll see you later on my next video. Who was that? Who was that? Oh, who was that you asked, 1SP? Oh, excuse me. Who is this? Oh, who is this you ask? Well, that's me. Yep, that's me right there. Marcus Crane. Who is Marcus Crane? Hey, that's me. You see, that's me. And if that's me, that's my second channel. Yep. Oh, yeah, I didn't probably tell you. Yes. Yes, 1SP. I started my second channel and everything. You see, I'm posting more of like a Bible verses now. I thought I was being catfished. Oh no, 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 no. I would never catfish anybody. But well, guys, like I said, hey, I can't wait for you. Oh, hey, if you want me to put it in the description, maybe that can help. Okay, let me put it in the chat so y'all can see, all right? Y'all can see, right? Yep, this will help. Okay, can y'all click? Did y'all click on the link? Just well, thank you, Reload. Thank you so much. It takes you to that. Hmm. Well, ATL, let me just try that again, okay? Okay, it worked. My intro. Okay, good, 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 good. That's good. That's good. Because I know you're gonna hear so much of my Bible verses and everything. But like I said, guys, well, I'm about to get ready for bed now because I gotta get up early in the morning, all right? And fix me some breakfast. And hey, I hope y'all can stay tuned for my next Bible story. And hey, I'll see you later on my next video, okay? Peace out. Oh, yes, I will go check it out. I need to learn more on God. Oh, yes. Hey, it's good to learn more on God. Could you see, guys? Oh, I forgot to tell you. See, I got baptized today. Well, yesterday. Well, good night. Hey, it's good to know more from God than learning stuff in this world. Well, God bless you, and I'll see you guys later on. Okay, bye.